Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to pay our respects to all of the people who have died in the name of making an Xbox. I don't know who they are.
I don't think anybody has.
I feel like a factory worker may have passed, and like, you ever see that factory? I've shown you that factory video where it's like, oh yeah, don't do this on the job, and then like finger gets caught in the trap and the whole hand goes, and they're like, ah!
I saw a factory, it was fine, and then everything was on fire in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's what happened with the 360s. That's why they came out so fucked initially.
That was actually a 360 factory.
Yeah, it was a 360 factory, and everything was really bad.
All right, it looks good. Whoa. Woof, whoa. Ship it. We gotta hit that date.
Overheating issue.
Roof's catching on fire.
How much more time do we got? A week. Ship. Ready to ship.
Ready to now. Hit the button.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Jump In Play More, the Xbox podcast by SFXX Play. I am iChrisPanda, alongside my co-host and standby analysis for stuff, Foxxy Steve.
Hey, how's it going?
He has gone many a moon and traveled the globe to interview as many people as possible about Xbox, and the results have come back negative as he has not actually interviewed anybody.
Well, every time I try to, they just try to call the police.
This is the problem with interviewing minors at an elementary school about Xbox.
Yeah, I had no business being there.
And the teachers watched. I don't know why they waited so long to enact, but...
Nope. And there's that one family, I just kind of went in their house like 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I got into their bed and went, hey, what do you think about Xbox?
What do you think about Xbox?
Right.
Oh, my eyes.
And so, I just got back out of jail. So, I'm ready to talk about Xbox today.
It was a fruitful week. It was a fruitful week. So, yeah, we got a little bit of news. Of course, as always, if you haven't already, please be sure, if you're watching it, like, comment, share, subscribe on our YouTube channel. Be sure to hit the notification bell to stay up to date whenever we go live with more shows like this, and of course, more video content moving forward. If you are listening on any of our podcast services, like...
you can listen to us on iTunes, or no, I think it's just Apple Podcasts now, and Spotify, and Google Podcasts. All those wonderful services. You can check us out there as well at SFXX Play. You will find Jump In Play More as well as other content that we've made there.
True that. Be sure to also thumbs up or like it.
Give it 5 stars on Spotify.
Stamp it.
5 star. You don't even got to listen to the whole thing. Just literally 5 stars on Spotify, 5 stars on our podcast. Be amazing. I don't know what to do for Google.
Send us a letter of recommendation.
Signed by President Barack Obama.
Signed by Bush. Not like George W., but like his father.
Oh, he's the boring Bush, though.
I know.
George W's the fun one.
They're both hilarious. Because they're both terrible.
Yep. Bit of housekeeping for you. Be sure to check us out next week. We're going to be doing the podcast live on twitch.tv/SFXXplay to record our live reactions to the Xbox. What? What'd I do?
You did nothing? I'm glad you didn't notice me. You're like, watch as we do it live. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, because of the Xbox. I'm like, oh yeah, we did say that.
Yes, next week.
I have been forgetful as all hell.
Next week is
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Before we even started the show, he was like, all right, I'm recording. And he didn't say anything. He just sat next to me, and I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, yeah.
I'm like, are we doing a bit or?
I was being so sincere. I was like, I was waiting on you to say something. And I'm like, oh my God. My head was like here, and it flew into another plane of existence.
That's fine. So check us out next week on SFXX Play, the twitch.tv/SFXX Play. We are doing a live reaction to the Xbox Bethesda Showcase, so that you can see what they have or may not have to show and react to it there. Then we're going to go ahead. If you can't catch it live, no problem, because we're going to upload that thing straight to YouTube as our podcast for that week, and you'll also catch it on podcast services as well.
True that. So, this week was actually not Xbox specific. There wasn't a whole lot of news that actually jumped out from Xbox. Sony had a state of play, which is not Xbox, we're aware, but a lot of titles actually were going to be multi-platform. A lot of things that we weren't expecting to be multi-platform, or kind of shockers. One thing I do want to kind of go over, because I see it in his notes, I don't really care to talk about it because it ain't got nothing to do with Xbox in any sense of the way. It's Spider-Man on PC.
I just tossed it in there as a quick blurb since it's Xbox. We talk about Xbox. PC is kind of like that because you can get Xbox games on PC.
You were stretching so hard.
I was stretching real hard. I was stretching real hard.
That is a Sony thing, and they put it on Steam.
True.
When they say, "Hey, it's on games for Windows," I'd be like,
Halo's on Steam.
Yeah, and it's also on Xbox on Windows. Spider-Man ain't coming to that motherfucker.
Fair.
So there you go. So for all you Sony listeners who are waiting for us to be like, yeah, he mentioned that shit. That's the shittiest sounding keyboard, like you crunching crab shells.
I was like, what is that, seafood?
It sounds like it was bad crab shells. Anywho, it's fine. Whatever.
I just wanted to toss it out there. We can move on. It's never happened.
Exactly. Never happened. Tobey Maguire, you exist. All right.
Got Spider-Man 3 is on in the other room.
And it stays on because I keep it on repeat.
God, James Franco has a face, man.
Everybody has a face.
It's something else. Anyway.
So the first thing I want to talk about is Callisto Protocol. Yeah, so you pivot because I think the other stuff is more important.
Yeah.
Callisto Protocol is from people who used to work on Dead Space.
Correct.
And I actually didn't know this was multi-platform. Granted, I probably should have just assumed because, I mean, it doesn't seem like it'd be tailored to one specific console.
That would be weird. It's from some ex-Dead Space devs. It's coming out for all the major platforms December.
Except Switch.
Because no, it's not gonna. Yeah.
That's Nintendo's fault. But this is Xbox show, so if you got an Xbox console, be prepared to play it. And I think it'll be good. I don't know story-wise. I can't say. The narrative can always be different, but I think the world in it looks interesting so far. The gameplay looks interesting. The character design looks interesting. The audio seems spooky as all hell.
Yes.
I'm like, this game looks great.
It does. I'm digging what they're going for. It's set for December 2nd of this year right now, and I think that's smart since Dead Space Remake is coming as well. And it'd be good for those two games to not step on each other's toes because they're so similar.
Really now.
So, and they're from completely different companies, so it's smart to kind of parse those out from each other. So, but yeah, Callisto Protocol looks interesting. Like I remember seeing the teaser like last year, going, okay, well, we'll see what it's got, and that showed did some interesting stuff. Like I'm pretty on board so far for what I saw.
Now, on the flip side, a game that I did not think was coming to Xbox, Street Fighter 6. So Street Fighter 6 was teased in the end of winter, I think the beginning of March. And I remember it being shown, and I was like, okay. That was my general reaction.
Because it wasn't much. It was just a couple of character models, basically, reused feet, and a very bland logo.
And it was just like, hey, it's coming. And I was like, cool. As a person who's played a lot of fighting games, if you know me, you know that I love fighting games. It's probably one of my favorite genres to play. And I think the biggest takeaway for Street Fighter 6 upon its initial reveal was that it was almost guaranteed that it was going to be on a Sony console. So you're like, Street Fighter 6 may do the same thing, because Street Fighter 5, the only reason Sony basically held exclusivity for it was, I think, because of funding. Yeah,
it was funding. Apparently, Street Fighter 5 wasn't even going to happen without Sony's money backing it.
Yeah, and now Street Fighter 5 sold like gangbusters.
Yeah.
Over the time frame that it came out. Not even essentially the launch, because launch for it was bad, but everything post-launch and re-releases for like the Arcade Edition, Champion Edition, whatever the case may be, PC sales, everything has generated enough revenue alongside things like their Monster Hunter games, their Resident Evils, their Phoenix Wright, I think, to a smaller degree, a much smaller degree, that helped to bring more revenue for Capcom to want to produce Street Fighter 6, which is now on PC, PlayStation, and of course, Xbox, which is great because the last Street Fighter game that came to Xbox was Street Fighter 4, so they've missed out on a completely different entry, but it's fine because this one looks great. It looks pretty good. They showed off a lot of gameplay. I could literally probably talk about Street Fighter 6's entire podcast, not because I want to, but because Capcom, and we're not gonna say, somebody, me and Final Boss Versus, shout out, basically have equated. Somebody at Capcom did this shit. There's no way. This game got revealed the very next day. Entire roster got leaked.
Oh, it did? So,
yeah.
Oh, I heard about. So the whole thing actually got leaked.
Entire roster got leaked. Video footage of characters have been shown. And all they could say on Street Fighter was, well, some people said, you're not supposed to see everything that's shown, but we're happy for the positive response. That is a very PR response to say.
Oh, Capcom said that?
Yes.
Oh, so they confirmed the leak?
Yes. That's why people are talking about it. It's like, they're aware.
Man.
They're aware of it. Normally, I don't go in the leaks because obviously sometimes leaks are fornicated, fabricated, not even real. They made complete understanding of it. And this was fucked up because a while back, a friend of ours put up a Facebook post that somebody had in a conversation where they were like, yeah, we did like a QA session where we didn't see the gameplay in action, but we got to see all the characters. And they started running down the list of characters that were in it. It was like, all the World Warriors back, and here's these new characters, and here's what they're like. And then all the character art leaked, not what the characters do and move and look like in the game, but the character art leaked. And it lined up exactly with everything this dude said like a year ago. So it's like, damn. That's a lot to go off of, right? And then to have Street Fighter's official Twitter account go, yeah, well, you saw it, but thanks for the stuff. It's like, goddamn. But it's like, it's fine though, because the reaction has been positive.
Yeah, people seem to like that. I mean, I am definitely more engaged by what I saw than when 5 was revealed.
Because 5 looks like 4.
Yeah.
Well, 5 did look like 4. Now it looks like 5. But I mean, still to the untrained eye, you can really tell the difference. But 5 is its own game now, for sure. But 6 is, I think if you want to play a fighting game, it's going to be good. And I highly recommend everybody to check it out because the website has gone over the detail of how the game works. There's so many nuances to it. Parries are back. There's a cancel system.
That was the one thing I was good at in Third Strike.
Cancels are in it. Alpha counters, focus attack moves are back. There's a lot of things to this game.
And so is that that story mode thing? Is that like a beat 'em up, like a Final Fight?
There's going to be some sort of single player focused game mode where you travel around Metro City to encounter other people. And you level up and learn moves.
That sounds interesting.
It's an ambitious single player experience that Capcom is very aware of, and they're hoping it pays off in strides.
Yeah, they've never done anything like that.
They have never done anything like that. Let alone the fact that apparently they're making some sort of online hub world.
Oh, I saw that. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah,
this smacks of...
This is a mixed bag of reactions. Some people are probably like, oh, that could be neat. I think a good 80% are just like, why can't I just get normal? Here's a name, there's a name, let's fight.
Yeah, we've been through this before. We've seen this with games like Blaze Blue, Dragon Ball,
Guilty Gear,
all those Arc System games, man.
It's
why do you gotta make a weird lobby? Come on,
it's really difficult. I don't have weird lobbies when I play Call of Duty. Why do I need one in my goddamn fighting game?
Maybe there's some other interesting.
I don't know.
Have they talked about netcode?
No, but we're almost certain that it's going to be rollback. The biggest thing is that we're hoping that it's going to be crossplay, because now that you have it on Xbox, which thank God, because Xbox is a great platform. I think in terms of certain games that are on multi-platform, Xbox was always the one that usually performed better. Like with if a game showed up before the Series S and the Series X were around, the One X was the one that performed the best underneath PC, because PC obviously is the de facto. And now the Series S and X are still performing better than PlayStation 5 in terms of lag.
Yeah, they have the better. They're just gonna have a better infrastructure.
Their architecture is built better.
Yeah, but Microsoft, PlayStation has gotten worlds better. But it's still probably not gonna be quite as good as what Microsoft's been doing for years already.
Exactly. There's a reason why. What is it called? X Drive? No. What is
xCloud?
No. It's the drivers for when you plug a controller in on PC.
Oh,
yeah,
boy,
I know.
That's a deep cut.
It's something with an X. Go figure.
I don't recall. I don't remember that.
But whatever drivers they use are so fantastic. If you have an Xbox related controller, your PC will recognize it immediately, and it has no issues. It'll understand it. It'll function. It'll work well with it most of the time. There's a maybe small percentage if you have a really bootleg control that it won't. And whereas like PlayStation, because it's not using those same drivers, it struggles. You have to install extra stuff sometimes, or hope that like Steam, for example, does do it.
Yeah, it does get weird a lot of times, especially when it always tries to route the audio through the headphone jack of that sucker.
Yeah.
For some reason.
It's a PlayStation controller curse. That's why like most things I just like using an Xbox controller. But Street Fighter 6 coming to Xbox is big news, and that wasn't the only big news from Capcom. They revealed the rumored, and I'm gonna say leaked because
it was true.
It was leaked via Nvidia. Resident Evil 4 remake,
worst kept secret in gaming.
and it's the worst kept secret and the best kept secret, because a while back there was the Resident Evil 4 VR, and people were like, maybe this is what they meant, because we were like, oh well, that's what we get. And time passes, people just keep forgetting. Some of us like, it's still probably coming, right? It's probably coming. Some people just like, whatever, who cares? Then they show it, and it's a teaser, because it's not really a big reveal. I think the big reveal is going to be happening. To be honest with you, it might show up at the Xbox conference.
It could show up there. It could show up at Summer Games Fest, since it's set to come out March 24th. So it's not like too far away. It's less than a year out.
It's next year, and the game is basically made by the studio and team that did Resident Evil 2 remake. Now, yes, this is a multi-platform title. There probably won't be any exclusive. Because you have an Xbox, you get Leon in a Master Chief outfit. Neat idea. Probably, I wouldn't even want that.
No.
But it's just, this is just such big news because, okay, I don't even think the camera picks it up, because literally right over here is a Resident Evil 4 poster of Leon getting chainsawed in half by, what is his name? Dr. Salvador, I think is what his name is.
Oh, he has a name.
Yes, they have names. I like Resident Evil 4 a lot.
Okay.
And essentially, yeah, for some reason the chainsaw guys are the doctors of the village.
That doesn't seem like a good doctor.
Man.
What do you do for like precision work?
Terrified.
No,
We need to cut your wound open and stitch it back up.
All right, let's remove that gallbladder.
It's like, oh, okay.
I need better insurance.
Right. My insurance is so terrible. There's no anesthetic.
I know what now? You can have some of this virus. You can have some plagas.
Oh my god. But I love Resident Evil 4. I love it to death. It's top 5 game for me easily. It's always vying for my top spot between that and Mario 64. I love you, Xbox. Halo 2 is number 3. That is how it is.
Hey.
That is how it always has been. Halo 2 has held a very special place in my heart.
I thought I held a special place in your heart.
You're like behind everything.
Damn.
And like,
but I'm in there though.
But Resident Evil 4, man, I have so many fond memories of that game. I've beaten it on GameCube. I've beaten it on Wii. I've beaten it on Xbox 360. I've beaten it on PC. I've beaten it on PS2. I haven't beaten it on iOS because that port doesn't really exist, and it's terrible. If you have never seen it, I will show it to you. You'll be like, they put this out. This is when they were like, we can put full games on phones. And this was like iPhone 4.
Oh no, this is when 3D bowling was still in vogue.
Oh man, this was a bad idea. And it was bad, and oh god, it's so bad. But it's funny because they got it to work. It's the entire game.
I mean, I remember putting Grand Theft Auto 3, I think, on my phone at the time.
I mean, those are much better though.
Yeah, I got like San Andreas on here or something.
San Andreas works well.
Yeah, it's better than the one that's on console.
Well, what's fucked up is the one that's on console is a port of that one. Exactly. That's how bad it is. But Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games, and they're remaking it, and it looks like they're going for a little bit more of a scarier approach to it, which is good because the fear factor in Resident Evil 4 over the years has kind of been subsided. Initially, when you're first playing it, a lot of it is tension built up from like claustrophobia.
Yeah, and the number of enemies.
Yeah.
You know, especially in that first initial section in the village when you first get into that courtyard.
Yeah, the first
coming at you.
The first like 20 minutes are iconic. You go and look for Ashley, and next thing you know, there's a dude who freaks out on you. You travel further along the path. You come to a village where they're burning one of the guys that was on the a car that transported you there, and then the entire village starts swarming you. Chainsaws go. You're having to fight wave after wave of enemies, and then the bell rings and everybody disperses. It's iconic. Most people remember it. Hey, where's everybody going? Bingo. You know, it's an infamous line, and it's most of that game is memeable. To be honest with you, it's fun. It's so goddamn hilarious to me.
It's very cheesy.
It's meant to be cheesy. It's like a really, really bad action movie. I feel like this one is gonna have a more Resident Evil 2 remake tone, where it's gonna be a little more serious, but there's no way it's gonna be serious because
the whole thing is absurd.
Everything about it is absurd.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to what they do with it. I feel like
Can't wait.
Like, you know, you as a diehard RE4 fan, you know, so, you know, if this game were to like shit the bed somehow,
it won't.
You know, it probably won't. It's highly unlikely.
I'm actually to the point where I'm like I have so much firm belief because it's not the RE3 team, it's the RE2 team that I'm like, it's gonna do just fine.
It's like I'm at a place where I'm like, I feel like RE4 is still recent enough that it didn't necessarily need a remake because you can still play the newest. You can still play that game on all the current stuff with new textures and everything. Everywhere. It's been ported everywhere, so I don't think it really needed a remake. But like, I think this is fine because if it were to be bad, then you still have one of the greatest games of all time that you can still play perfectly fine.
I think that this game is going to do one of two things. It's either going to be toe to toe one of the best Resident Evil 4s ever. It's going to be one of the best Resident Evils ever and be just like Resident Evil 4 and be just as phenomenal. Or it's going to be slightly as good as Resident Evil 4. Because when RE2 Remake came out, I love RE2 Remake a lot. But I know the regular version of RE2 is technically better. The pacing for story development is still really good. Some of the sequences and set pieces are kind of iffy, but the way that they made like the Mr. X interactions was fantastic. The way that they set up, the way the mansion was laid out felt better and didn't feel as confusing. Puzzles were there, but they weren't as annoying.
They really fleshed out stuff more. Kind of like Final Fantasy VII Remake, where they really took a lot of elements and gave it kind of the moments they deserved that they couldn't pull off back then.
Yeah. Whereas like you said, RE4 to me, I mean, to be honest, that game is retro as hell now. And it's, first off...
Don't say how long it's been because I'm going to feel real old. How long has it been? It's been, what, 2004? Oh, no, that's...
2004.
That's
like 18 years.
That's 18 years.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been about 18 years. The game is very old. We're 3 console generations above it now.
Yeah, I mean it is indeed in remake territory. It's just it doesn't feel as old because it's on a whole system generation ahead from 2 and 3. So
yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like a lot of people have very fond memories of this game, and the history of it has continued on year after year, persists the same way. Like I've always discussed this. Some games hold up extremely well. We were talking last night how like Super Mario World is still a great game. It still is. It's a good game. It's a fantastic platformer. But Nintendo kind of understood how Mario games can be better, more accessible, more enjoyable for a lot of people. So Mario World isn't the best Mario, potentially. If you ask from person to person, they may be like, oh, well, you know, as good as Mario World is, I may like Mario 64. Somebody may say, you know what, as good as Halo 2 is, I may like Halo Infinite. Which is, I can understand that, you know, the combat feels a little bit better, the story, graphics, you know, all that stuff. I was about to say shit. It doesn't matter because whatever. But
yeah, we're uncensored.
I don't know.
We're uncensored on this
My
show.
Brain stopped me like I wasn't trying to. Who cares? All I'm trying to say is that some games age gracefully. Metroid, Super Metroid, Metroid Prime, those games age gracefully, and I think Resident Evil 4 is one of those games that has aged gracefully. Obviously, the tankish control is a little weird at first. It's a little jarring, but it's so much smoother than playing like Arrivederci Remake.
Okay.
So Resident Evil 1 Remake.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's why I was like, how do I say this and not have my words stumble over and make sense, and not just say remake. RE Remake is, by and large, a fantastic game. They redid everything from the original Resident Evil from the ground up. But it is still just regular ass Resident Evil. Locked camera controls, tank controls, really, really shallow inventory management. Fun game. I enjoyed it. It's a little bit of an annoyance because it's old. but it holds up well. RE4 has expandable, inventory, different paths for upgrading your weapons, fun ways to make the game accessible for anybody, extra modes beyond just the story campaign with mercenaries, Simon Ada, and another one with the name I'm forgetting for some reason right now. It's expansive. It's great. The next question is, well, what are they going to do after this? Because you can't just make Resident Evil 4. You're obviously on a string of making games over again. And I have the desire that I want them, I've told you before, I want them to remake Code Veronica. I want them to remake this game because Code Veronica base is not great. I think a lot of people like it, and I think a lot of people hate it. There is no definitive one way for this game, and I feel like if they were to remake it, it could be treated better. I could say the same thing for, I don't know, Resident Evil 0. That game, some people really like it. I fucking hate it. I don't like the fact that there are no boxes in the game. So when you have no space in your inventory, it's like, damn, I need an item, but I can't just put it in a box and pick it up later. You just have to put it down. Oh my God. And then you gotta remember where you put it and go back to it if you need it. Oh, it's cumbersome. And because it's one player co-op, the controls are ass. They remake it, 2-player co-op. Holy shit.
My headcanon for the way boxes work is that magic is real. And so when they put it in there, it goes into a little demi-plane and they can just grab their gun from any other box.
My headcanon is it's a fucking video game. Wow, who would have thought of that? But to be honest with you, I actually wouldn't even hate it if they remade Resident Evil 5.
Hear me out.
Resident Evil 5 is a good game, and I stand by that.
Yeah, it's still a good game.
But you know what the biggest critique for Resident Evil 5 was when it came out? It's too action heavy and it's not scary.
Yeah, it's not scary at all. That is straight up an action game.
What has all of the things that RE2, RE3, and potentially RE4 remake have done so far? Increase the level of horror.
Yeah.
So they could, by and large, find a way to make RE5 scarier while keeping the action elements.
They could. They could take those, because I remember Maximilian was saying, 6, it sucks.
It does. It's absolute shit.
But the gameplay,
I fucking hated it. But
you know the controls of it at all.
I tried for an hour and I was like,
I like that you can jump on your back and shoot from your back and stuff like that.
All of
roll,
It just felt like it was trying so hard to not be Resident Evil.
Yeah, I don't see that game getting a remake.
I hope not.
I don't see. We're going to just slide past 6.
Or better yet, if they get to the point where they're like, yeah, we need to keep remaking them, remake 6, you know what? Condense everything. Don't give me 3 separate campaigns.
You don't want Jake Wesker for...
Sure, put him in it. But condense that fucking game.
Okay.
Make it go from point to point to point to point, and then that's the end of it. I don't need to do an entire campaign. That game is so long, and there's multiple discs, and no, it's only one disc.
Was it just one disc? I could have sworn there was more than one disc.
The second disc was language.
Oh.
I remember because I was like, there's 2 discs to RE6? No, it's just the language pack for Italy and Spain, Italian and Spain. I was like, okay.
So you can enjoy the crap in another language.
Yeah. Whoa. But it was just our remake. I think they're moving on the right path. I think RE4 remake is going to be cool. I can't wait to see what's going to happen for it. And of course, the only way we'll get to know what will happen is if anything will come true next week at the showcase.
Oh, wow. What a transition.
I tried.
I'm a little... Ooh.
Yeah.
You got to be flustered.
Yeah, I tried. So next week is the Xbox Bethesda Game Showcase. I've been anxiously waiting. I thought it was this week, so I was like, ooh. And then I was like, no. So I was very upset. But at the time this video releases and this podcast, you get to hear what our predictions are next week. So Steve, what is your prediction for next week?
We are going to get a gameplay reveal trailer of Perfect Dark.
No. So
let me just shut you down right there.
I don't know. We might actually get one. We might actually get that. That seems plausible. Any more
think
big
that's
predictions?
Fair. Do you want to go back and forth, or do you want to just? I'll toss it to you. What's your?
Sure,
prediction?
I'll do a prediction. I'm going to do a simple prediction. And I only say simple because to me it's simple, but I know it's not really simple. More backwards compatibility announced.
Yeah, I can see that.
I really love that there's so many backwards compatible games between 360 and original Xbox specifically that I really hope they do more. Like, I think the random surprise of, what was it last year, like Dead or Alive? It was only like 5 Xbox original games, and I was just like, holy shit, DOA 3, DOA 4, DOA Ultimate, and Ultimate 2 were like backwards compatible, and I was like, holy crap, that's crazy to me. I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I want them to do more of that. I think the main reason I want more of it is because since that system is so much older now, a lot of the abilities to play that is really difficult.
Yeah, it definitely is. Getting things from that generation together is not easy.
Yeah, so a lot of like, and I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about the original Xbox because, truth be told, you can get original Xbox games still to this day a lot cheaper than like a GameCube game per se, or like I think even a PlayStation 2 in certain certain games.
Depending on the game.
Yeah, like obviously if I'm saying, all right, I want them to just Def Jam, Fight for New York, cool. That game, if you were to go and buy it for any system, you're hitting close to the $100, if not more, threshold. I know, that's fucking bonkers. That game is great. I love it. I talked about it last week. $100 is fucking steep.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't like paying the $70 that they want nowadays. And they're like, and I still think that's wrong, by the way. We should talk about that, because goddamn, fuck you guys thinking it's acceptable to sell me a game for $70.
Yeah.
Even worse, make the same price for digital. That's fucking wrong.
Yeah, and I hear they're increasing it on Steam. Like what? There's no reason.
There's no reason
for this at all.
You just want the extra money,
Yeah,
potentially to pad it out. I understand that, times are getting hard for money, but that makes me not want to play your game more because I can't afford it. So, like I said, I think backwards compatibility would be a nice little nugget. It ain't even got to be at the showcase. They can just announce it in like a presser. I'd be like, that's fine.
Okay.
Nothing big.
All right. For me, I believe there's a high likelihood we will get at least a teaser for Gears 6.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Any thoughts on that? Or?
Yeah, I mean, because Gears 5 came out on the previous console generation.
Close to the tail end of it, yeah.
Close to the tail end of it, and that was, 2018, 2019?
Damn, when did
something
that
like
game
I don't
come
have
out? I think it was 2018.
Because it's been a while, and Coalition is like, what have they been up to since then? They've been just quiet.
Maybe it was 2019. Because I had Game Pass by the time the game came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2019. I'm going with 2019 for 500.
Yeah. That's not how this game works.
Okay.
But yeah, they've been dead silent. We haven't heard anything from Coalition since. And that means that I'm because there's still, that's like the Gear 6 is the end of that next trilogy.
Yeah, and then I think after that, just
be done. Just start something.
We don't need any more Gears. Let them do something completely different. It can play like Gears. That's great, whatever. Just stop. I think my biggest gripe with Microsoft is that I love the company and I like a lot of the IPs that they've had, but like when shit works, they just murder that motherfucker.
They need new IP, man.
They're like, we gonna run this hoe into the ground.
Yeah, like I know that they're working on stuff because they've got all these devs and stuff. We haven't seen the fruit from all of these purchases and acquisitions yet, but because I'm sure they're working on new IP, but good lord.
Right, it's taking a long time, man, and the juice better be worth the squeeze.
Yeah, like it's time for some new stuff to carry on this generation for like 10 years.
Yeah, which leads me to my next prediction is new IPs. Because goddamn, I'm pretty sure, like you said, they've been working on something, and I'm sure a lot of these people have been like slowly twiddling their fingers to have games to come out.
Yeah, new concepts.
Whether they're big, whether they're small, something is going to be coming out for Game Pass that's brand new that they're going to show at the showcase is supposed to wow people, and it's going to be very interesting. It doesn't matter your creed or whatever you like. I was about to say creed or crescendo. It doesn't matter whatever.
It's hot in here.
It doesn't matter what you like. What matters is that there's going to be something for you to play. And I think obviously with the Game Pass initiative that they've been consistently putting out, they want the people that they paid money on their studio to do is produce more interesting original content exclusively for Game Pass. So I think we're going to get more from them next week.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, they literally kind of, by buying Bethesda, they pretty much cheat coded themselves into easily having new IP.
They did, yeah.
Which, I mean, still, smart move while you're still making stuff with internally at the Microsoft studios. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. For me, something that we talk about new IP, but going back to an old one, because it kind of sparked my interest on Twitter. I think there is a decent chance that we will get Killer Instinct. I think we'll get. There's been so much noise about bringing back KI. It trended on Twitter. Phil Spencer isn't blind to this kind of stuff.
Phil Spencer went on record on a podcast as somebody asked him about KI.
That's true.
And he literally said, "We would love to bring KI back. We hear you. We're aware of it." Here's the problem, though. Who the fuck they got making it? Because there's nobody to do it.
I mean,
there's literally nobody to do it.
They'd have to either get an internal studio on it with fighting game knowledge, or quietly contract it out to an existing studio.
And that's the biggest issue, because if you're talking, that's what happened with the original Killer Instinct from 2013. Was they contracted it out?
Yeah, that was Double Helix.
Double Helix, thank you. Mm-hmm. Who could only do 1 year of it because they got bought out by Amazon.
Yeah.
Which has not paid off. I'm so sorry.
No.
Oh, that was a mean, underhanded roast for no reason. I am sorry that you're a failure. And then they handed the reins off for the last 2.5 seasons, is what I'll call it.
Yep.
For Iron Galaxy.
Iron Galaxy, yeah.
And currently, Iron Galaxy is working on Rumbleverse, which is a deal with Epic.
Yeah, a lot of things that were unfortunate happened, and I feel like the biggest problem with it was that these studios were farmed out to them. They weren't internal. I think this will be internally developed.
If the problem is that I think people wouldn't mind if it was internally developed or a new KI, but the biggest problem for that is that the original KI set the bar so high. And a lot of people are like, you know what? You could just re-release this KI and we'd be happy. But they don't need to do that because it works on everything already.
True.
So the biggest problem that they have is that they need something new to keep the flavor of KI alive. Mm-hmm. I would love them to do a new KI. I would love them to have a new studio team. Keep the original rosters keep everybody except like the guest characters and like some of the new people to most of the game, like keep your Jago and your Orchid, Cinder, Glacius, and just find a way to make it work. But the problem is you have to meet up to the standards between Mick Gordon, who can't do the soundtrack at the moment. I think he's officially licensed out to another company at the moment, so he can't even do that. To, I think, Ken Lobb, who is like head lead for KI for something. I think he does something with Rare, I think it is. I'm not 100% sure. No, he did something with Xbox Arcade. I don't know what he does now.
I mean, the talent pool at Microsoft, though, is so huge.
But who has fighting game knowledge?
That's the thing.
You have to find that.
I may even go so far as say they had to build a whole new team.
They would have
to do it.
That's the only way that would feasibly work.
But I think there's been enough time between the last season and now to where they could have had that time to build that up and make it happen. I don't think it's out of their own possibility anyway. I think it's possible, and I think it'd be hype as hell.
Okay, so my next prediction, and this is kind of a stretch, but I kind of see it working.
Okay.
They're going to announce a Fable collection.
Ooh.
They're going to announce a collection of Fable 1, 2, and 3 into one package.
I mean...
And I'm stating this, and they're going to treat it the same way they did Master Chief Collection, except it'll work. To be fair, that game did work at launch. It didn't work for multiplayer.
No,
but it worked for the
single player was great. Multiplayer was a train
And hey,
wreck.
what is Fable mostly anyway?
Oh, that's single player, baby. So yeah, they'd be fine.
So yeah, they're just gonna give it, and they're gonna do like a nice up-resing for those games. They're gonna look fantastic. They're gonna run better. They're gonna play better. So I think that this would be a good way to keep the interest of people into Fable. They'll get to play the games again. They'll announce it for Game Pass for PC, so you get to do that on your personal computer device as well.
Sure.
They announce it for Steam. Fantastic. They still put it on Xbox. Go figure. And then after they announce the collection, they have a new trailer that shows off a little bit of the new Fable that's coming out.
Okay, you're rolling all together there. Okay.
Yeah, because you get
my prediction. You piece of shit.
Well, because you get the new if you put out a Fable collection, right? The Fable collection is something that they could have been working on for a little bit, but it's easy enough that they could release it this year. They could feasibly.
Yeah,
release
absolutely, they could release it this year.
The new Fable obviously won't be this year. It may be late next year if they're actually still working on it, like the way they plan, or it'll be the year after that, right? But it'll be early. It'll be like early 2024.
Yeah, I would put it at 2024. Yeah.
So this is a good way to keep the public's eye of Fable like very interested, and it's a good way to keep building up hype for the new one as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, my only thing about it is I'm not sure if they feel motivated to do something like that, just because you can go back and play all 3 Fables on Game Pass, optimized by the system already to run at 60 FPS.
Yeah, on your console, but can't do that on PC or Steam.
That's true.
So if you remake them and have them all running at 60 frames, have them all running with the resolution to go up to 4K, include ray tracing for all those games.
Oh, give them like a nice remaster.
Yeah, like it doesn't have to be crazy.
Yeah, not remake.
But it has to be like,
that,
man, this is really good.
Really pretty it up. Maybe make the first game's controls not ass.
Yeah, they could have easily went in and like redone the entire first game's like infrastructure the same way Mass Effect did, and people would be ecstatic for it. So
Yeah,
that's my prediction.
I'd be happy. I would start Fable 1 over again, even though I'm like 20 hours into the first game. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I wouldn't do that again. Those missions suck. Okay, all right. I'm gonna do a softball. I am pretty sure we're going to get a gameplay reveal for Redfall, which is the game coming from Arcane Studios.
The vampire game?
The vampire game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's an open world co-op shooter. So I know it kind of gives me Left 4 Dead vibes, but I guess it's going to be more in an open world. And it's Arcane though, so it's probably going to have more of that open-ended design philosophy they go with. It's from the studio of Arcane that made Prey. So this is the game they've been working on since Prey came out, which I know Prey was rough.
I was about to say,
yeah. So
I don't know. It's Prey. I'm like,
I know. Apparently, Prey. Now that you play it like optimized and stuff, it's like way better. I guess the bigger issues with it were how it ran. But I want to try it.
Game. That's personal.
Yeah, so we'll see. But I think at least we'll get gameplay of it so we can actually see. Because people were hyped for this game when they announced it with just the CG trailer, and I never get hyped for CG trailers because I'm like, this isn't the game. This is just a tone piece. Like I want to see the game. So I think we'll at least get gameplay this year, even though it's been delayed to next year.
Right. My next prediction. And I'm just gonna keep the gravy train rolling with bringing the old back.
Put that gravy on me.
And the gravy is, brother, they're remaking Crimson Skies.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's a game that I know that's not gonna happen. I just already know. I'm just throwing it out there. That's like, here's my pie in the sky, because I know the fan base for Crimson Skies is there, but I feel like there isn't a game like it out now at all. Like, there's nothing like it. They could literally remake it. Newer graphics engine, newer models for everything, newer textures, new online again with all the DLC from the old one, and people will love it because it was completely original.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else like it on any platform, whether you're doing Nintendo, Microsoft, or Sony. There is nothing like that game out.
That's true.
It would give them a leg up in that regard.
It's so fun, yeah. God, I miss Crimson Skies, and even shout out to that weird Snoopy game, because that was the closest thing we had.
Yeah, the Flying Red Baron. I think that was a 360 arcade game. And it played just like Crimson Skies.
It was just like Crimson Skies. Okay, I have a prediction. I think that we could very well get. Well, first of all, I'm gonna do this one first. This is Game Pass related. Modern Warfare 2 is coming out this year. I think that they're gonna announce Modern Warfare 2 comes day and date to Game Pass. Because every year they always do a big like bombshell, this is coming to Game Pass kind of thing. And I think that given the purchase and everything's apparently going smoothly with that they're going to be comfortable enough to announce that Modern Warfare 2 is coming to Game Pass. It'll be the first COD game on Game Pass.
I think every Call of Duty is going to be on Game Pass.
I
think they're going to announce that every Call of Duty is going to be on Game Pass, and then they're going to launch. Then they're going to say, and Modern Warfare will be day and date with Game Pass. Ooh. I think that's because I mean,
Call of Duty Mobile is coming to console. Man, that game is amazing, people. By the way,
let me tell you,
you get one of the backbone things, and I'm new to this. Like Call of Duty Mobile is incredible now. Like
it is a fire example of what you know. What if they took the mobile out of COD Mobile and just like made it COD with like a different surname, where you had the ability to be like, okay, here's the mobile players, and you're playing against the mobile players. Mm-hmm. Okay, and here's the console players. People would eat that shit.
Yeah,
but they won't do that because they need more money.
Yes, they do.
So it's good to have two different markets.
They like money.
They like money a lot. But it's really fun if you haven't played it. Especially because, goddamn, they just put so much. They have their own battle pass in it that's completely separate. Now, I'm not going to tell you about the weird store situation. You know how when you play, matter of fact, I'll tell you. You know how when you play Call of Duty, you're like, oh, there's like a Godzilla skin. Oh, God, I gotta spend 2,400 COD points. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, cool. Clink. You buy your COD points. You buy your skin. You live your life. You buy COD points, and sometimes you can get straight up the skin, but they have this like roll system where it's like, okay, this is what is in this, and the first bit is 300 to hit it. You could be lucky. You could get what you want. You can get the skin, you can get the gun, first roll. You ain't got to worry about it. But you could also get a spray, and you keep rolling and keep rolling and keep rolling. Sometimes, it's normally like a $20 thing, could end up being a $50 thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was like, oh boy. No to that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that would probably be a good idea. Man, I feel like I gotta counteract your Game Pass thing with something.
Counteract me with something.
But I don't fucking know what. The only thing I can
make it big. Let's make this our last two predictions.
Oh, okay.
Go crazy. Get nuts.
Go nuts.
Take your balls out. Not literally, because you know.
Go nuts. Shit. I don't have a prediction that's go nuts. None of my predictions,
or whatever.
None of my predictions for Xbox have gone nuts.
They haven't really earned going nuts.
The next prediction I have is that they're going to be like, you know what? I've got my gone nuts prediction, and I don't want it.
Oh,
I actually really don't want it. Remastered Oblivion. I know. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Why?
Because the game is so old, and people so much love that game.
They do, but goddamn.
Imagine them remastering it so faces don't look weird.
There's already
interactions don't look weird.
There's already indie devs trying to.
And they just do it, and it's like the vein of like Skyrim, and people are like, "Damn, what a great game this is." I wouldn't care. I have no interest in it. My enjoyment for Oblivion comes from looking at people's weird interactions in Oblivion.
True.
I don't even want to play it. I don't like playing Skyrim. So I don't like playing Skyrim. I don't like playing Fallout. That studio means kind of nothing to me. But that would be like, damn, they did it. And because obviously Starfield is coming. But if they announce this and say, hey, it's coming when we get to it, people will be like, oh my God, that's crazy. Woo! And it's not Skyrim. Woo! Because that's... Aside from the new Elder Scrolls, this would probably be the next best thing.
Yeah, I mean, they are kind of lacking in the RPG front on their own. I mean, Avowed is coming from Obsidian, which looks a lot more interesting than what they've ever seen from Skyrim. But, I mean, it'd be
Elder
cool.
Scrolls.
I mean, they got Elder Scrolls is coming, but that's not until like 2026.
No, you said anything better than Skyrim, and I just had to say
Elder Scrolls in general.
Because now we assume Elder Scrolls with just Skyrim. So
True.
It's just like... No.
Well, those video games sure are interesting. Just dies.
Jesus Christ, man, what a game.
Yeah, I mean, they could, in theory, hire the indie devs working on Sky Oblivion, which is literally a remake of Oblivion in Skyrim.
Yeah.
And they're working way too hard on that to not get paid for it. So maybe they'll see that and be like, let's just hire you guys and we'll give you money and you just keep doing it. Okay, all right. So, okay, here's mine.
Damn, I thought of one more good one. But you know what? No. You take yours and then I'll end it.
Okay, all right. I'm thinking, okay, we got one more thing to show you. Lights go down. Okay, even though this is all online. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's gonna be a crowd there or not.
No, it's not. It's gonna be the crowd is the cameraman and his fucking family. It's like, I want to go to Taco Bell. Shut up, bitch.
You know, and you see that iconic feather, right, or some iconic noise that they make, and it's gonna be a banjo remake.
You're funny.
Oh, that is possible.
They did a remaster on 360 that they put in the rare collection.
Not a remaster, a new game.
You said a remake.
Remake, like reboot, like completely.
I was like, a remake of the first.
Like Banjo-Kazooie. It's just called Banjo-Kazooie, and it's a reboot of the franchise, and it's a fresh story, all new everything.
Okay, well, to counteract your lights go down moment, my lights go down too. And it's dead quiet, and it's like, we have one more thing to show you, and they do the weird thing where the lights go down in the studio, and then the light fades out. Ting! And it's the ring sound. Sega! And then it's like, we've acquired Sega.
Oh my god, they're not doing that at the conference.
We've acquired Sega.
That would be incredible. Sonic can have a chance to be good.
Sega properties will now be... We're working with Sega closely to make sure Sega works first on Game Pass, and that more Sega properties will be coming back, and they just show off as like featuring these games, and it's like a collection of games that they put on there, and they're like, oh man, that's crazy. And you got your normal stuff, you got your Sonic, like the old ones, right? You got your Revenge of Shinobi, you got your Golden Axe, because for some reason they keep putting out these fucking games, and then they're like, here's Space Channel 5.
Oh, ooh, Dreamcast games.
Here's Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
And they because Microsoft got money, they put the licensed soundtrack into it. Here's Choo Choo Rocket. Oh snap, bitch. And it's like the Power Stone thing, that's a Capcom thing.
We're gonna delay Sonic Frontiers for 2 years and really make it good.
We're gonna make sure this game is good. It's like they saw the thing from IGN and it was like, nah. And they called up Sega and me, it's like, y'all fucking suck.
This is a problem.
Here, look, I'm gonna give you a number. I'm gonna fax it to you.
I'm gonna fax it. We're gonna fax you a number because it's $19.99.
Let us know if this is the price, because god damn it,
kill us with our dot matrix.
Oh, thank God. This might work. Hello? You just put the phone down but didn't say hold on. Yes, Mr. Xbox Man. Hi. Me from Sega, because I don't remember who runs Sega. That number's acceptable.
Mr. Sega runs Sega.
Sega Sanshiro here. Yes, that number works fine.
That works fine. Hey guys, you know that actually unique and polished Sonic game you were looking for? Well, listen to this. The phone.
It's like there's nothing playing. It's a Sonic game. We have to see it, not hear it. So yeah, that's my fucking.
I would
piss in the wind.
It would break the internet a little bit.
Because people would be like, excuse me? There would be nothing to like actually come from it, but it's just the idea, the principle.
Or the you know, what we were talking about last week, we've acquired EA. That's a little more realistic than Sega.
Man, Sega needs to, I'm saying Sega needs to have it. Because I feel like the thing about Xbox that's different from like if Sony owns something or if Nintendo owns something, Microsoft is willing to play ball with anyone.
True, they're pretty open with what they do business.
So the only thing that would help Sega is the money, and then on top of that is to be like, hey, we just want to make sure that a lot of the gamers get what they want. So we want to make sure your studio gets out some of these older games that people have been wanting, and that's a good way to do it. So, but that's my piss in the wind, pie in the sky. Just this will happen, and I know it won't. We will expect. I'll see Forza. We'll see the new Forza, by the way.
We'll probably see the DLC for
We'll see the DLC for Horizon, and we'll see the new Forza.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, that was my given, but I was just like, I don't want to say that at this point.
All right, well, guess we'll have to wait and see what happens next week.
We will have to wait and see, but what we won't have to wait and see is what character you're going to guess this friggin' week. Hello!
Not yet, damn it, because we still gotta do our Game Pass pick of the week. I have time. I have time before I have to sweat.
Well, too bad you've already been sweating, brother.
I have been sweating. I'm quite hot. But we'll get this part quick. Game Pass pick of the week. Pick of the week. For me this week is going to be a lovely little game called Hollow Knight. It's a little indie game, 2D side-scrolling, difficult. I won't say difficult. It's challenging. It can get challenging. Really atmospheric. I love the audio design in it. It has a mood to it. I'm like, this game is interesting and it feels a little depressing at times, but like I'm into it. I want to play more of it. It's definitely intriguing. Definitely seems to have an interesting story that's being built up around this strange world. These weird people with missing towns and people mining underground, singing morbid ass songs about their dead parents. But anyway, I would definitely recommend trying out Hollow Knight on Game Pass this week. That is my pick of the week. And I take it to you, iChrisPanda. iChrisPanda. Ice cream. I want ice cream after this. What's your pick of the week? Huh? I bet it's something epic. I bet it is the greatest thing that has ever come to Game Pass.
I can't believe I'm saying this, and I can't even have a straight face when I say this. My Game Pass pick of the week is...
I know what it is already.
Hold on. I need to actually get the name right, because if I get it wrong, then the internet will kill me.
You can't disrespect a game of this caliber.
The Game Pass pick of the week is Lawn Mowing Simulator. Now, I know some people are looking at me like, what the fuck did he just say? I know.
This dude.
I'm gonna give the story because this was last minute. I had an original pick and then I was like, you know what, maybe I'll try something different. And so I originally downloaded the lightest farming simulator, I think it was, on Game Pass. And I was like, I've never played these games. There's a weird esports scene. You guys can look it up. It's very real. Sponsored by people like John Deere and other farming manufacturing companies. It's crazy in Europe. I don't get it. It's cool though. And I was like, I'll try it. I didn't like the game at all. I fucking hated it. I don't understand what to do. I was like, my small brain do not compute. So I watched this man play Bugsnax. I was like, I wasn't feeling it. We felt that maybe if you played it by yourself and got to be more engrossed in the story, then potentially.
Yeah, because I was getting into the Bugsnax. So that might be, when I play more of it, that might be next week's, but we'll see.
So I took it upon myself to just throw a wrench into everything that I play. And we were looking at like bass fishing championships or something.
We went through so many games. By the way, some of these games on Game Pass have shit trailers.
I was like,
you don't know what the game is.
There was like a game where you're like an alien cube blob flying through space and time, and it didn't even give any explanation of what you're doing. And I'm like, this game looks dumb. And there was one where you're fish, but you're like rolling in balls to meet the sea or some shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then the light beamed onto Game Pass itself and said, you like grass, you need to touch it. And I was like, you're right, I do need to touch more grass. Well, how about you do it digitally so you ain't even gotta leave the comfort of your own home. Lawn Mowing Simulator rose from the ashes. From the depths of hell did it come to grace my ever presence to show me the way. And I cannot believe I'm saying this. I am so fucking engaged. It is it's so simple, but it's so lethargic. This is just like
you're just cutting grass.
You're just cutting grass. You have contractual obligations to help build your business for grass cutting. You have a weed whack. You can buy different types of ride mowers, and you can hire different employees to do different things to level up. And of course, it's a European set like game, but it's still engaging because it's so calming. There is no music except for like the menus, but you're just out there cutting grass. It's just chill. You're putting designs in people's lawns. You're trying not to run over flowers and objects in the grass and stuff like that.
You can just go outside, grab a handful of that grass, put it in a little bag, right? Strap it around your face, and that way you can just smell.
I can smell it.
Cut grass. Is that doo-doo? I think a dog shit.
I picked up shit.
I picked up shit. This is.
But it's so. I don't understand why I like it. I can't explain why I think it's good, but I think it's one of those things where it's like, just give it a shot. You never know what you may just find enjoyable in your like passing time, and that's one of them.
Hey man, I dig it. I will say I was kind of vibing just watching you play it.
It's just like
I was vibing out.
It's kind of like you ever seen people just watch washing machines rotate. It's like that.
There's nothing wrong with people.
It's somewhere just like, huh.
I'm gonna go on a vacation to Italy next year.
I'm having an existential crisis right now. 401k really means nothing, does it?
Going around and around, doesn't it?
It's incredible, and it's ugly as shit. Like, people are hideous looking, and some cars got interior detail, and the other one had like just flat panels.
Oh my god, it was like a PS3 car on the outside and a PS2 car on the inside.
So bad.
Because it's not the lawnmower, so who cares, right? It's not the lawnmower. The lawnmower is where the detail's at.
It's fun. You have lawnmower vision apparently too. When you like stop moving and you click in the right stick and hold it, he'll like, and everything will go black and white, and you can see which pieces of grass you haven't cut properly.
You haven't cut grass before? That's how it works in real life too.
Fucking insane.
When I cut that lawn, I go like Raven. That's what Raven, and I can just see the levels.
You can see the levels.
Yeah.
But it is gratifying.
With my dad's shorts on.
It's gratifying. It's something soothing, you know. You just want to turn it on, just have a beer, and just, you know, wasting away again in margarita. And you just sit there in front of your game, and you know, and your wife comes in. What the fuck are you doing? Shut up, bitch! I'm mowing.
Listening to margarita. Looking for my last shaker of salt.
Oh my god, we need to start wrapping up.
We gotta wrap it up. Okay, now that was our pick of the weeks. Hollow Knight for me. Lawn mowing simulator for Chris. Now, sir, we can get to...
we're getting to the fun bit. For me.
Jesus Christ. So if you don't know this bit, everybody, I get to experience hell for 60 seconds or longer. Well, I guess the video game character that Chris is thinking of.
Yeah, it is pretty dope. I find it very amusing, and people also like it. So, we're going to keep doing it. That's just how that shit works.
Let me clear my mind, Palace. Bop, bop. Bop, bop.
So the best thing about this is he only has 1 minute on the clock. I've actually turned the brightness down so that the camera can pick this up a little bit.
Okay.
He has 1 minute on the clock to guess the character using a sequence of yes and no responses. Steve, you ready?
Nope, but go ahead.
Begin.
Is this a shooter?
No.
Okay. Platformer?
Yes.
Okay. Does the character wear a hat?
No.
Okay. Is this a male character?
Yes.
All right. Is this a console exclusive?
Yes.
Okay. Is this exclusive to Xbox?
Yes.
Okay. Do they have a gun?
Sort of.
Sort of. Okay. Is the character a human?
No.
Is it an animal of some kind?
Yes.
Did I use a vacuum cleaner?
Yes.
Is it Blinks the Time Sweeper? Is it Blinks the Time Sweeper, yes, you son of a bitch?
It's Blinks. Woo!
That game sucks.
It does not suck.
It sucks.
Look at that. He got it in with 17 seconds
left.
I
hate
to
you so
spare. Look at that.
I don't even feel like a winner. I still feel like I lost because it's Blinks.
It's not bad.
You're gonna play this game again. You know,
I have it. I have both of them on Xbox.
We're gonna see. Okay, you know what? We're playing Blinks at some point.
Fine. I enjoy Blinks.
All right, I'm gonna play it, and we're gonna see if this game is as bad as I remember it being.
You're probably gonna be like, "Oh, it's okay." that's what I'm probably gonna expect from you.
All right. I know it's not Grabbed by the Ghoulies bad.
No, that game actually sucks. Holy shit, I played that on Rare Replay. I was like, you know, I never played this for realsies. And I was like, let me give this a show. I was like, oh, no wonder Rare did not really do anything after this.
All right, well, take us home, chap.
With that said, thank you guys for listening in or watching. If you haven't already, once again, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe to this video. And be sure to hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date whenever we come out with new videos, including the podcast weekly, and of course content like my GM for 2K22 starring us again, and we go head-to-head NXT versus NXT UK. And then of course we're going to have more content as well to look forward to in the near future. And if you're listening to us on any of your podcast platforms, be sure to like us there, follow us, be sure to give us a positive review rating, like 5 stars perhaps, so that we can be put in more prominent positions amongst those, so that you can have more quality content from us and, support us. Obviously, you can go and support us even further with monetary gain. Patreon.com/SFXXplay. And in teespring.com/SFXXplay, where we have our SFXX Club shirt. And of course, we have other things tied to that account as well, like our Kenshiro Fox shirt, our Jet Set Radio inspired shirt and hoodie. Lots of things to help us, and it always goes back to give us more financial money.
More financial backing to help create better content for you.
Thank you.
And also, I'm tired of eating holographic meatloaf.
So it helps us out immensely. And without anything else, be sure to follow myself at iChrisPanda on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. Be sure to follow Foxxy Steve on Steve Foxxy on Twitter, because they fucking hate him.
Because there's a guy who has Foxxy Steve who never uses it. He has no tweets. He's just an egg, and he still has the Twitter. Anyway.
But then you can follow Foxxy Steve.
Yes, you can on
TikTok and on
Instagram,
Twitch.
and
Instagram,
yeah, all those things.
Wow. And of course, follow our channel on Twitch, SFXXplay, where next week we'll be discussing and looking at the Xbox Bethesda Showcase live as it happens. So that'll be a good time.
Yes, it will.
And follow Fight Night FGC, Kryptonite, Final Boss Versus, Dope Vibe Only on Instagram.
They have cool shirts.
I'm pretty sure there's somebody
Not like
I can
this,
remember.
but they have cool shirts. Like the one I wore last week.
Pretty sure there's something else I can remember, but I don't.
Can't remember. That's fine.
My brain is like, you've
It's
done
hot.
enough. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to do all as we mentioned before, and we'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Bienvenue, arrivederci, and make sure to cut your pizza.
Because I don't. All right.